on ABC Radio. You're with Lisa Leong.
We're taking your votes right now because we're looking at iconic Aussie music that made a big splash on the international scene. Samara Marzola is a musician, friend of the show. Hello, Samara.
Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm very well. Where did you start when you looked at amazing Aussie acts that made it big overseas?
Well, I went back to the 1950s to start with, where the industry was just sort of coming together. You know, we were starting to tell our own stories, get a bit of a national identity. Radio at that time was still very much influenced by American acts. So Elvis Presley, Bill Haley and his Comets, that sort of Americanised rock and roll. And so we had our own version of that with Johnny O'Keefe and Cole Joy and the Joy Boys. So we were starting to tell our own stories. But so that was the status quo in the 50s. And then we get to the mid-60s and then we have a band called the Easy Beats. So the Easy Beats were basically the first Australian band to have a worldwide international rock and roll hit. Yeah, the Friday on My Mind.
Oh, yes.
So there you go. Talk about a song tapping into a universal theme, you know, the Monday to Friday grind. And, oh, God, please, let me get to the end of the week so I can let my hair down. And, you know, when you listen to that song, it is masterfully written, Lisa, because in the verses where the singer's talking about that Monday to Friday grind, there's a very minor tonality in the song. It creates tension, you know, very much like the tension of that deadline or of when getting to 5:30. But then the explosion in the chorus with more of a major relief sort of tonality. Such a great song, and no wonder that it was such a big hit.
Do you have a record player,
Yeah, I do.
Sam?
I do. And you know what? Exactly right with your texter about not having to go incredibly high end.
Yeah.
The thing is about vinyl, without going too far into the technical part of it, but what it reproduces off that record is the frequency range is broader than what you get on a CD or a streaming service. So you hear things in your music that you don't normally hear when you listen to it on other ways, in other means, like on your like through your streaming service. That's the real the warmth of vinyl. Coming out of the Easy Beats, we were moved into the 70s and sort of the disco era, and I tell you what, the biggest sort of success story from Australia at that time was the Bee Gees.
Oh,
and
hang on. I'm feeling my disco going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, classic.
I feel like putting on some very tight-fitted synthetic clothing.
We are both we're both dressed up like that.
Stay away from a naked flame, though, Lisa.
Exactly.
We'll do ourselves a mischief.
Bee Gees, Night Fever. Was it a surprise they made it big? Or?
Oh, well, no, I don't think so, because Saturday Night Fever, that record, was absolutely ginormous. They were actually at the vanguard, you know, the zenith of disco. I guess in the scheme of music, disco came and went pretty quickly. But by this time, the template of Australian artists having success overseas had well and truly been set. You know, and our very individual voices were being heard on a world stage. So how cool is that?
One of my all-time favourites, which I'm so proud of, Little River Band.
Yep.
With this one as well, you may remember.
Oh, soft rock, Lisa. Love it. We're heading down to the yacht club for a cocktail at the marina.
Oh, there's just a certain feel, isn't there? Just reminds me of summer as well.
Yeah, Lespex sunglasses.
And you were putting on coconut oil. Yeah. Sunscreen lotion.
Yeah,
that was
right.
unheard of.
Burning to a crisp.
And the other vinyl that you had was on the car seats. And Toast your bum.
Yeah, we'll have to use some of the techniques that we spoke about with Bruce to get your vinyl back in good shape. But yeah, the soft rock phenomenon of sort of the late 70s, Australian artists very much like Little River Band and Air Supply as well had many hits.
Yes.
So yeah, we definitely staked our claim.
I think I might be a soft rock kind of gal.
Well, look. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit in Bros into the list because they're not Australian, and I know you're a fan,
Have
Lisa.
I mentioned that before? I think I started off liking them ironically, but now I just I like Bros.
There's no guilty pleasures, only pleasures, Lisa. So let's we've explored the soft rock part.
Uh oh.
Let's
Where are we going now?
Let's get a little bit more street.
Like this one.
Let's go.
Surely we're going to get votes for Akadaka.
Well, I tell you what. ACDC had been snapping at the heels of success in the United States leading up to this record. And then they were touring, and then this album came out and this track, and people fell in love with it and went nuts. It was rock and roll, it was sinewy, it was lean, and in the best spirit of rock and roll.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. That was too loud.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's just me being a soft rocker. Turn it down!
I get excited by ACDC,
I can
Lisa.
tell.
I'm passionate.
You're going to put your vote to Akadaka?
Oh, geez, well, it would be hard
That's
to narrow
one
it
vote.
down. I may be ineligible, seeing as I'm on
that's
the
true.
inside.
All right.
We want to sort of play with a straight back here. But yeah, that was great. Yes, lean, sinewy, devoid of excess.
What's Parkway Drive? Is that a song?
Parkway. Oh, actually, very, very internationally successful. More sort of a heavier sort of band.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never heard of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Well, there we've got a vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Parkway Drive are great, and yes, an absolutely real success story, but more in recent times. Okay, so AC/DC, and following on from that, AC/DC's next record in America was absolutely ginormous, which was Back in Black, and so playing in front of thousands and thousands of people. So we're heading into the 80s now, and look, there were many avenues we could have gone down. Men at Work had released Down Under. We'd won the America's Cup. Australia was just well and truly on the world radar. So then we get to In Excess. It's just so cool.
Oh, now we're talking.
These cats.
This is me.
And I tell you what, how's the confidence and the swagger of these guys? Because
I'm feeling really sexy already.
I know.
I'm just listening to it.
4 or 5 records in before the success happened, and
Really?
that's yes, absolutely.
I was there from the beginning. I was one of the originals.
You were the OG.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, well,
what does that mean again? Original.
Yeah, look, we're so out. I'm so out of the loop. I'm not going to put
In
you
Excess,
in.
and we've got a vote here for In Excess. That's 2 of us.
Oh, great, great.
I'm voting on many things here.
Well, I mean, music is so personal and individual, isn't it? But the thing about In Excess, and that
how big did In Excess make it overseas?
Need You Tonight was a #1 hit in the United States.
Right.
Yeah, and Listen Like Thieves, the album previous to this, was successful too, but they hadn't quite gone into mega band status in the States. Kick came out, and that was everywhere. But that's why. But there's so much space in the music. That band is so self-assured, and that comes about from doing thousands of gigs on the Australian circuit at the time, like live music within Australia.
What do you mean by space?
Well, space in terms of letting the music breathe and letting it groove. Now, you know how you started moving there and feeling it?
Yeah, I was swaggering.
Literally, a little bit up and about, Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You start moving your hips to it,
yeah.
and it shows a self-assuredness by the musicians in the band. They don't need to speak loudly. They know the song is really, really strong. So that's why ginormous success for In Excess.
We used to have slumber parties and then put the music on and just dance in the lounge rooms.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we used to do.
Oh, there you go. I hope there was some snacks, because from some...
Always snacks.
Yeah,
I'm just going to read some of these text messages out. So we were talking about albums. Many of the classic analogue albums and vinyl records sound so good due to the technology of their day. Not knocking modern digital. It's just different. It's so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a lot of the
we
time...
would have improved?
Well, if say with MP3s, if they're in an uncompressed state. Like oftentimes they get compressed so they get to our phone quickly, when we use our streaming service or something. If they're uncompressed, they can still sound really good. But there is a warmth and a breadth and a sound staging with vinyl when you listen to your favourite music on vinyl that is really quite magic. It's kind of hard to put your finger on, but